The thickest, softest French toast you'll ever have, a deconstructed burger that I may have stolen from the most popular fast food chain, and a breakfast I ate every other day for 2 years that made me really, really fat. These are my 3 favorite cooks from 2023. This actually isn't beer, I know. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with me. Decided to go dry for January. By I mean my wife suggested it. We're doing it together. This is some seltzer water, probably be a lot better with tequila, but here we are. You know, we're just gonna go dry. It's probably good to detox the system. Other than when the Browns play in the playoffs, definitely drinking that day. Whatever, we all gotta make exceptions. So, my favorite meals start off with the challah French toast. So the CH, didn't know that's how it's pronounced when I initially made it, but you live and learn. People tell you stuff on the internet. This was absolutely fantastic. I got this recipe from Epicurious and I adjusted it a little bit to some things that I actually had, not using some of their ingredients I don't have laying around like fresh nutmeg and whatnot. And I can't recommend it enough. This bread, you can find it in the bakery section. It is a little pricey. I mean, it's like $6 a loaf. That's probably why I've never heard of it, because I'm too cheap to pay that much. But if you're cheap like me, spend the money. Buy the bread. Trust me, you won't regret it. You cut it really thick into about inch and a half slices. Then you make up your normal French toast batter, but it's got a couple extra things to it. You know, we're using the heavy cream and the eggs, and then some sugar and some vanilla extract. And then what we're doing is I actually got out the hand mixer to really mix it all together, like really get it mixed together really well. And then when I got it mixed together really well, it was almost, you know, a little thicker, a little custardy. You put the thick bread in there, the challah, which you can put in the oven to dry it out, or you can let it sit out overnight. I just let it sit out for like an hour before I put it in there. You put it in there and you let it soak in this mixture. You're now like eggy French toasty mixture for a good minute or two per side. I mean, it's not a quick dunk like you're used to with regular French toast. Just like dunk it in and throw it on the griddle. You know, it's about a minute or two per side. And then after that, you put it on the griddle with just some more butter. I kept it pretty low, around 350. Tried to get it down to 325 because it soaks up so much of that egg that you need to cook it all the way through on that thick bread without burning the outside. So that's why I kept it low, 325, 350. Normally I do French toast up around 375 or a little bit higher. But this worked. You do 6-7 minutes per side, really let it sit there, and then flip it another 6-7 minutes per side. I topped it off with some real maple syrup. Again, broke out the wallet for this one, got the expensive maple syrup rather than the fake high fructose corn syrup, whatever normal syrup is that's like not real. But it was worth it. It was worth every single penny. This was hands down the best French toast that I've ever made. I would highly recommend doing it. If you want the recipe, I'll put it down in the link below. Brings us to our next meal, the Big Mac chopped cheese. So the Big Mac chopped cheese. Chopped cheese is really just a deconstructed hamburger. I mean, that's all we're looking at here. Throwing a burger on the griddle, seasoning it up, chopping it up into multiple little pieces. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. These are from New York. A lot of people get them in bodegas and stuff. I've never had one, so I'm not sitting here to claim that this is some sort of authentic thing. I have no idea. This is just how I made it on my griddle in my backyard in Ohio. So you just kind of chop up the burger, season it, add your cheese, get yourself a nice hoagie bun. If you can't get one from your deli, go to your local substation, Subway. I went to Jimmy John's. I bought some of their bread. If you don't know, you can buy some bread from those places. And then you're just putting your meat and cheese fixture in there. And then I just did the classic Big Mac toppings like lettuce, onions, Thousand Island dressing. There was no pickles, but pickles is a good one too. You know, 2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame bun, but it wasn't on a sesame bun. It is in a hoagie roll. There's tons of different ways to do chopped cheeses. I did one that was like a steakhouse chopped cheese, and I did one that's like a traditional chopped cheese, but my favorite one was the Big Mac chopped cheese. Definitely make this, give it a try, add your own flair to it. You know, this isn't really about the recipe of like exactly how to do a chopped cheese, just it's pretty straightforward. You're putting a burger on there, chopping it up, adding cheese, and then just make it, you know, make it however you want with your fun ingredients. It's a great thing to do with the family. But try the Big Mac version. I thought it was very good. Ah, finally. So look, story time. When I worked at Bob Evans back right out of college, they came out with these biscuit bowls, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bowl made of biscuit, and I was 22 years old, and I certainly wasn't cooking at home at that point in my life, because I was either at Bob Evans or I was out with friends or doing who knows what. I felt like I worked 60 hours. I did work 60 hours a week at Bob Evans, and I just ate these pretty much every other day. This is also the fattest I've ever been in my life. So, you know, I have that to thank for it. But it's a bowl made out of a biscuit, and then you can put any filling you want in it, okay? The way you make the bowl, we used to get them pre-made into little discs, frozen discs. They'd come into Bob Evans. The way I made it is I just did a quick biscuit recipe. I'm not a baker. This is the most mediocre biscuits you've ever had in your life, but I did a biscuit quick recipe. If you know how to make good biscuits, do your recipe, roll them out, you know, maybe about a 1/4 inch thick, and then cut them into a 6-inch circle. Now I use my omelet ring. You could also use a pot or something to cut them into a 6-inch circle. And then if you buy these tortilla shell bowls off Amazon or wherever you want to get them, you can get them wherever you want. I don't know if there's other places you get them. They're like, sometimes they're at the dollar store from As Seen on TV bin, you know, at the end of the aisle, that goofy stuff, with like the slap chop and whatever. Anyways, buy these, and they're supposed to make like tortilla bowls, but you can put the biscuit, once you that circle, on the outside, not on the inside. If you'll see here on the inside, they cook in on themselves and there's not enough room. So you put them on the outside of these bowls, bake them in the oven like you normally would for a biscuit. I think I did like 10 minutes, like just kind of watch them, eyeball them, because they're not a normal biscuit size. Pull them out, flip them over, boom. You have a bowl made of a biscuit. I mean, should take real long to think about how many different things are going to be delicious in an edible bowl made of a biscuit. Me, you know, I did potatoes, then I did some scrambled eggs, I did myself a sunny side up egg, I did cheese, gravy, green onions. I mean, I just, everything that I thought would be delicious in a bowl, basically like a heart attack in a bowl, and the bowl's edible too. And yeah, that's how I got really fat, like right after college. I mean, the drinking probably didn't help either, but mainly I'm blaming Bob Evans and the late hours in the biscuit bowl. It was a wonderful thing, and it's a really, really cool thing that you can show your guests. And if you want to know like the full way I did it, I really go into more details in the video on your screen now. So click on that and see how I made the full biscuit bowl. Thank you all for watching. Those were my top 3 meals of 2023. More great stuff to come in 2024. Oh, that's just bubbly water. I don't know. That's all it is. That just tastes like a fountain drink when they run out of syrup. It's not good at all. It's just like a bad pop. That's all that tastes. It's like you paid for a pop that's not really good. It's just they forgot to put it in there.